Right, sir. So, observation in the last class, so just we completed what exactly the meaning of data persistency and what is the meaning of this persistence operations. After that, persistence technologies. This exactly this content here we are executing. We understood clearly. So now tell me what is the meaning of data persistence actually? So data persistence is nothing but representing data in backend systems permanently. That permanently what is giving clarity about which one? No, persistency. Right, sir. What are the various persistence operations here? No, CRUD operations are persistence operations. So what is the meaning of this CRUD operations here? No, create, retrieve, update, and delete. These operations are which one? They know persistence operations here. No. What is the meaning of this persistence technology? What exactly the meaning of persistence technologies actually? The technologies which are used to perform data persistency, the technologies which are used to perform persistence operations, the technologies are called as which one? Persistence technologies. What are the various persistence technologies are available in general? So the basic one, serialization and deserialization is existed. Second one is which one? JDBC. Next one is which one? ORM tools. Next one is which one? Inside these ORM tools, number of things are available. One is which one there? EJB sensitive beans. Second one is a Hibernate. Third one is JPA. And fourth one is which one? Can know IBATIS. Like this, number of examples are available. We can identify this clearly. Right, sir. EJB sensitive beans. Second one is Hibernate. Third one is which one? JPA, IBATIS. Like this, a number of examples are available. So, okay, fine. First, observe this, all of you know. First one is we need to understand one by one, all these mechanisms here. So anyway, I want to give discussion about serialization and deserialization, JDBC. In ORM tools, I'll go for differences. Already we have EJB sensitive beans, then what is the requirement to come for Hibernate? Already we have Hibernate, then what is the requirement to come for which one? JPA. This type of examples here we are going to understand here. Now listen clearly. Right, sir. Right, sir. Next one is which one? Then after that, after completion of this, serialization and deserialization process here I'm telling now. What is the meaning of the serialization and deserialization? Serialization and deserialization. What exactly the meaning of serialization and deserialization? Right, sir. Not wait. Right. See, in general, in object-oriented programming languages, data will be stored in the form of objects. Data will be represented in the form of objects. But here, serialization and deserialization, if you observe there, so the process of separating data from an object is called as serialization. Why, sir? Why you are separating data from an object? What is the requirement of it now? Definition of the serialization we understood. The process of separating data from an object is called as serialization. Okay, good. Separating data from an object, that is exactly which one there, no? Serialization. It's okay. But what is the requirement to separate data? My requirement is different. I want to separate the data from an object in order to send the data to the network, or maybe in order to store the data in the database, or maybe in order to send the data to some other file system. Maybe a number of requirements are coming there. For the sake of them, I need to separate the data from an object. Let's say, for example, if we take an example, if we want to separate, if we want to transfer an object through the network, if we want to transfer an object through the network, object we are unable to transfer. Object and object here we are unable to transfer. Why object and object we are unable to transfer actually? Why object to object we are unable to transfer actually? Object is a memory block. How it is possible to send this memory block through the network here? So it is not possible there. So here, what exactly the point I'm telling there? Object and object we are unable to transfer, but we can transfer the data of that objects. We are unable to transfer the data of that object. So if you want to transfer data of an object through the network, first we have to separate data from an object. To separate data from an object, we need to go for which one? Serialization. So that's the meaning of it. Serialization is which one? The process of separating data from an object is called as serialization. But what is the meaning of deserialization actually? What exactly the meaning of deserialization, Kirno? The process of reconstruct or regenerate an object on the basis of data. The process of regenerate an object on the basis of data is called as deserialization. Understand it? The process of separating data from an object is called as serialization. The process of regenerating an object on the basis of the data is called as which one? No? Deserialization. This is what exactly the point about which one? No? Serialization and deserialization. But how, sir, how we are able to perform this serialization and deserialization? To perform serialization and deserialization, Java has provided two byte-oriented streams. What are the two byte-oriented streams are provided by Java? First one is object output to stream, and the second one is which one there? Object input to stream. First one is object output to stream, and second one is which one? Object input to stream. Overall, two streams are available here. Object output stream, and second one is which one? Object input to stream. They are the two things here. Okay, fine. Object output stream is for the sake of which one here? No serialization. Object output stream is for the sake of which one there? No serialization. Object input stream is for the sake of which one here? No deserialization. Deserialization. Object output stream is for the sake of serialization. Object input stream is for the sake of which one? No deserialization. That is a requirement of which one here? No object output stream and object input stream. But how we are able to do this work here? I'll show one exact representation. Try to recognize it clearly. All of you observe this one. For example, this is my Java program. This is my Java application. This is my Java application. So inside my Java application, I'm having an object. Simple employee object is existed. Employee object is existed. Alright, sir. Inside this employee object, here we are having some data. Employee number is equal to 111. E-name is equal to AAA. E-sal is equal to 5,000. Data is available like this. Clear. But my requirement is which one? I want to prepare a text file. emp.txt. I want to take some file here. So here my requirement is which one? Employee object is available in Java. I want to separate the data from an object. And I want to send the data to which one? No, emp.txt file. To the employee.txt file, I want to send my data. That's my requirement. So here first we have to separate the data from an object. Serialization we have to do. Then after that we have to transfer the data to which one? There no emp.txt file. So if you want to transfer data to a particular target file from Java application, we need one type of string. Please recognize this string. I want to send some data to a particular text file from Java application. So we need a particular file stream. Which stream here we require? No, output stream is required mandatory. Output stream is okay. But target thing is which one? Target one is a file or not? The target one is a file. So which type of output stream is required? File output stream is required. So first of all, we need to create file output stream. This is file output stream here we are creating now. Good, sir. File output stream here we are creating. Understand it here. Here this is file output stream. Next one is which one? When we create this file output stream, but actual serialization is performed by object output stream. So after creating this file output stream, we need to create which one there? Object output stream here we have to create. This is FOS. Now we need to create which one? Object output stream. How we are going to create this object output stream actually? Here we have to do, that's it. Here we have to create which one here? This one. This is exactly object output stream. That's it. This is exactly which one there? Object output stream we created now. Good. First of all, what we have to do? Employee object is available. That employee object here must be given to object output stream. Object output stream will perform the required serialization. That serialized data will be given to which one there? No, file output stream. The file output stream will carry the data to which one there? No, emp.txt file directly. This is what exactly think here. Now listen carefully. I'm going to write this employee object. Its reference is which one? For example, EMP1. EMP1. Its reference is EMP1. I'm going to send the EMP1. Right, sir. I'm going to send this EMP1 to which one? You know, to the object output stream. But before writing this object into the output stream, we have to recognize one point. Which point here we have to recognize? First of all, tell me for which purpose we are writing this employee object to object output stream? For serialization or not? For a serialization purpose only, we are writing this employee object to object output stream. But if you want to perform serialization over an object, first of all, that object must get eligibility. That object must get which one? No, eligibility. That object needs some eligibility. After getting eligibility only, that object is that we can perform which one? Serialization over that object. First of all, object must get which one? No, eligibility. But how objects are going to get eligibility? Right, exactly. If you want to make any object eligible for serialization, here what we have to do there? We must implement which one? You know, serializable interface. We must implement which one? Serializable interface. What is this serializable interface? Actually, it is a marker interface. Serializable interface is which one? You know, is a marker interface. Identify this. Once it is a marker interface, no. If it is a marker interface, okay, this interface doesn't have any abstract method. Just its intention is which one? Making eligible an object for which one? Serialization. That's it. For the sake of that only, the respective employee class must implement which one? Serializable interface. Right, sir? It's okay, fine. We are implementing that. Now object is getting eligibility. Whenever this object is getting eligibility, directly we are going to write which one? You know, employee object to which one? You know, object output stream. Now inside this employee object, here what we have to do there? We need to write which one? You know, employee number is equal to 111. Next one is which one? They know employee name is equal to AAA. Next one is which one? Then after that, employee salary is equal to 5,000 here we are getting directly. ENY is equal to 111, ENAME is equal to AAA, and ESAL is equal to which one? 5,000. We are getting this one. Now, whenever we are sending this data to object output stream, this object output stream is performing serialization. After performing serialization by this object output stream, it is separating data to outside. Which data? No, ENO is equal to 111. Here we are getting. Next one is ENAME is equal to AAA, and ECL is equal to 5000 here we are getting the data. So first of all, we are writing this employee object to object output stream. Object output stream is performing the required serialization. After performing the serialization, the data is generated from this object here. Okay, whenever data is generated to the object, automatically, what will happen here? No, the data, whatever the data is generated there from this object, the data will come to which one? Then a file output stream in the form of binary. Why it is available in the form of binary, sir? What is the meaning of it? No, file output stream is which one? No, byte oriented stream. The data will be represented in the form of which one? No, binary only. So directly data will come to which one? Then no, our text file. Whenever data is coming to the text file, automatically data will be represented like this. Data will be represented like this. Understand it? Here the data will be which one? No, ENO is equal to 111 and E name is equal to AAA and E cell is equal to which one? 5000. Like this here we are having some data directly. Right, sir? Understand it here. So finally here what happened there? No, employee object we created. That employee object has implemented serializable interface. We send that employee object to object output stream. Now object output stream is separating the data. The data must be sent to file output stream. Now file output stream is sending which one? No, data to which one? There no emp.txt. We can observe this here. Now we get this is exactly which one can know serialization. This is the meaning of which one? No, serialization can know. That's fine. What is the benefit of using this serialization? Here we are getting only data or not? In the form of a binary, the data is getting or not? Instead of storing the data in emp.txt file, send the data to the network. Network will carry the data to which one? No, remote machine. Remote machine will take the data. Remote machine will again create an object. Remote machine will use the data for its requirements. Understand it clearly what I am telling you. So here, what exactly the point I am telling here? So first of all, object we are separating to object output stream. It is performing real serialization, separating the data. The data is given to file output stream. So in a standalone mode, I stored the data in the text file. But in enterprise application, the data must be sent to which one? Network. Network will carry the data to which one? No, some other system, maybe at some other place. For the sake of transferring data through the network, object is not eligible, but serialization we require. Serialized data is eligible to transfer in which one? Network directly. Good, sir. That's the meaning of serialization. But what is the meaning of this deserialization actually? All of you observe this. What exactly the meaning of deserialization here? Data is available in emp.txt file. I want to read this data. On the basis of this data, I want to reconstruct an object. The process of regenerating an object on the basis of the data is called as which one? Deserialization. Right, sir. All of you observe this one. Sir, listen carefully. After this, I will ask some few questions there, which are required for us. Now, if you want to perform deserialization, first of all, we have to read data from the emp.txt file or not. All of you after this one. If you want to get data, first of all, we have to and get the data from the respective text file or not. So we need to get data into the Java program from text file. From a file, we need to get the data. From a file, if you want to get data, we require which one? No, input stream we required or not? Okay, which type of input stream we require? No, from a file, we need to get the data. So file input stream we required. From a file, if you want to get data, we need to get which one? Then no, file input stream. Up to this. This is exactly which one can know file input stream. File input stream. Whenever we created this file input stream, automatically data will come to which one can know to the file input stream option directly. In file input stream here, what we are getting there, observe this one can know. The data is available in the form of zeros and ones, binary representation here. Now data is available with the file input stream. Whenever data is available with the file input stream, now I need to send the data for which one? There no deserialization. To send the data for deserialization, here what we have to do there? No, we need to go for which one directly? Like this here. Here we have to use which one there? Directly this one. Right. That's it. Now data is available with the file input stream. Now this is exactly which one? Object input stream. What this object input stream will do here? Object input stream will get the data from which one they know? File input stream. Whenever it is getting data from file input stream, data is existed here. What exactly the data is available here now? ENY is equal to 111 and ename is equal to AAA and ECell is equal to which one they know? 5000. Like this data is existed here. Whenever data is existed here, we have to design an object on the basis of this particular data. So here object must be created on the basis of this data. Object will be created on the basis of this data. Here what we are going to do, ENY is equal to 111 and ename is equal to AAA and ECell is equal to 5000. Like this data is available here. So here what I will do there maximum, the data will be converted to which one they know? This particular object. Whenever object is created here, we have to read that object into the Java application directly. Now here we are going to read that object. Here we are going to have the data. We are able to read this object. So ENY is equal to 111 and ename is equal to AAA and what next one here? ECell is equal to 5000. So total data is existed like this. Now I want to declare it as which one they know? EMP2 object. EMP2 reference variable here I want to take. Its object reference variable is also be which one there? EMP2 like this here we are going to prepare. That's it. This is what exactly the meaning of which one? Deserialization. Sir, all of you observe this one. Serialization and deserialization we completed clearly. In serialization what we have done and deserialization what we have done here. In serialization just we separate the data from an object that was performed by object output stream. In a deserialization data is coming here. On the base of the data we are trying to create which one there no object. That is called as deserialization. That object here we are able to read into the Java application directly. This is total mechanism about which one? Serialization and deserialization. That's fine. But I have a question now. Programming part is not required. Just understand the concept here. In core level, you might be understood that programming part, how to prepare object output stream, file output stream, and how to send the data to the object output stream, and how to create file input stream, how to create that object input stream. Programming part is not required. Just leave it. Only the steps are given there. But here I have a question now. What is my question here? The serialization and deserialization mechanism is available to achieve this data persistency. To manage this data persistency, serialization and deserialization concept is available. Then what is the requirement to go for JDBC as an alternative? What are the drawbacks with this serialization and deserialization persistency mechanism? Drawbacks we required here. In general, we are not going to discuss these concepts in core level. Core level up to this point only we used to discuss. But beyond that, what are the problems with this serialization and deserialization? Why we are coming for next persistence technology? This question here we are getting now. Answer for this question is very clear. All of you after this answer here. Understand answer for this particular question. Point number one. Point number one. After this. In a serialization and deserialization is mainly in which applications? No, standalone applications. Okay, in a distributed applications also it will be useful here, but majorly persistence mechanism point of view, we are going to use standalone applications. It is not much suitable as a persistence mechanism in which one there no enterprise level. This is one point. It is not suitable for enterprise applications persistency mechanism. This is one point. Second point I am telling there. Try to recognize it. Understand this another point here. In a serialization and deserialization mechanisms, we are using two byte-oriented streams. What are the two byte-oriented streams now? Object output stream, object input stream. These two byte-oriented streams we are using. That means which are supporting the data in the form of bytes only. But if you want to perform serialization over character data, if my character data is involved in serialization and deserialization, is it supporting for that? No. Maximum is not supporting for that. It is supporting for only which one? Bytes data only. Data representation must be available in which one? Bytes. That means it is very much compatible with which one? Bytes only. It is not compatible for which one? Character related data. Leave it. This is one point. Second point. It is dependent on file system or not. Just in this example, we have used file here. In distributed applications, we may send to remote machine. It's okay. Later on, we'll discuss about it. Here we are using file here. This mechanism is somewhat dependent on which one? No, file system here. This is another point. Leave it. Second one is which one? All of you understand it. Next one here. Max by using serialization and deserialization, which operations we are able to perform? Just assume emp.txt is a database. Java program is available. Max which operations we performed here? Sending data to the database, storing the data. Next one is which one? Reading the data, retrieving the data. Only these two operations only we are able to perform. Is it possible to perform update operation here? Is it possible to perform any delete operation there? No. So maximum inserting the data, retrieving the data. These two operations only here we are able to perform. Other persistence operations are not at all possible. This is another limitation here. Next one. Is it possible to provide any query languages for this? The serialization and deserialization is having any query languages support? Do you have any query languages support here? No query languages support is available. Query languages support is available. Once the query languages support is not available, all database operations are very much difficult. Database operations are very much difficult once the query languages support is not available. Just understand it. By using SQL query, by using SQL, if you want to retrieve any particular table data, simply we are going to write select a star from EMP1. That's fine. Even though if we have 100 number of records there in the database table, all 100 number of records are coming. Understand it? But if you want to retrieve data there from the text file, do you have any query language? No. Do you have any select SQL query? No. Okay, what we have to do now? Number of times we have to perform deserialization. Performing deserialization in the sense how much code here we have to write now? Minimum 10 to 15 lines of code here we have to write. To perform serialization, 10 lines of code. To perform deserialization, again 10 lines of code. 20 lines of code here we have to consume there. But in the case of SQL, no, only one line. But here 15 lines of code here we have to write. So this is totally hard-coded kind of thing. This kind of approach is which one? No, hard-coded kind of approach here. So this is not suitable for our application development. Because of these many reasons, we need to go for which one? There no next level of persistence mechanism. Come again, sir. What are the various drawbacks are given about this serialization and deserialization? First drawback is which one? Can now tell me no. In serialization and deserialization, we need to use file system. Anyway, it is a platform dependent one. Second one is which one? They know we are using the mechanism on the basis of only binary data. That means bytes data. It is supporting for only bytes oriented data, not for which one? Character oriented data. Next one is which one? Serialization and deserialization mechanism is suggestible for only standalone applications only. As a persistence mechanism, it is suggestible for only which one? Standalone applications only. Second one is next one is which one? They know. Maximum by using the serialization and deserialization mechanisms, we are able to store the data or we are able to retrieve the data. So delete operation is not possible, update operation is not possible here. This type of operations are not possible here. Next one, serialization and deserialization is one type of hard-coded mechanism here. Hard-coded kind of mechanism. What is the meaning of this hard-coded kind of mechanism here? No. So lot of Java code we have to write to insert an object into the database. Might be to retrieve that object from the database. Lot of Java code here we are able to write. Understand this one. Next one. Another mechanism is which one? Then another point is which one? Especially query languages support is not available. When query languages support is not available, we are unable to achieve the data persistency effectively. We are unable to perform data persistence operations effectively. So problems we are getting there. Because of these reasons only, we have to go for which one? No? JDBC is the next mechanism directly. All of you are getting it or not? Okay, fine. But how can we say JDBC is the right mechanism for us? How can we say JDBC is an alternative? What exactly the mechanism is available? How can we say JDBC is a persistence mechanism? And one more point I'm asking there, how can we say serialization and deserialization data persistency mechanism? Before understanding drawbacks, we have to understand this point. How can we say serialization and deserialization is a persistence mechanism? What is the meaning of data persistency? The meaning of data persistency is which one can know? Storing data permanently. How can we say here data is stored permanently? How can we say data is stored permanently here in this mechanism? Yes, answer is very clear. Now tell me, sir. Here we are using which one can know? Here we are using file system or not? Here we are using file emp.txt. That means file system. File system is which type of memory? Temporary memory or permanent memory? Permanent memory. Your RAM memory is a temporary. Java object is a temporary. But the file system is which one? They are not permanent. If we disturb the data intentionally, then only it's going to be disturbed. Otherwise, the data is remains in our respective file here. Permanent storage. That means if we keep any data in emp.txt, well, the data is permanent. So that's why, because of that reason, this mechanism is which one can know? Persistence mechanism. Then after drawbacks here, we understood here. Leave this drawbacks here. So to overcome all these problems, we must go for which one can know? JDBC is the next persistence mechanism. But how can we say JDBC is a persistence mechanism? How can we say JDBC is a persistence mechanism? Inside the JDBC, what is going on? Right, sir, we know already regarding this JDBC. So what is the meaning of JDBC? Now tell me first of all, what is the purpose of JDBC? Main intention of JDBC is to interact with the database from Java applications in order to perform database operations. To interact with the database from Java applications in order to perform database operations from Java applications, we need to go for which one here? No, JDBC. This is the main intention of which one there? No, JDBC content. It's okay, fine. Next one, how we are going to provide the JDBC content clearly. Right, sir, if you want to prepare any JDBC application, here we have to use some steps. What are the various steps here we have to use there? Now tell me no. First one is which one there? No, load and register driver. That's fine. Second one is which one here? No, establish connection between Java application and database. Next one. Third one is which one? Create a statement. Create statement or prepared statement or callable statement. These things are existed. Fourth one is which one? Write and execute SQL queries. And fifth one is which one? Then after that, write and execute SQL queries. Fifth one is which one? Close the connection or close the resources. For example, whatever the resources we are going to take in JDBC, that all the resources here we are going to use. Right, so these are the steps here we are going to follow. Let's come for the diagram here. In a diagrammatic representation, I am able to say JDBC is one of the persistence mechanism. How can we say this one directly? All of you up to this here? Understand it, sir? For example, this is my Java application. This is which one here? Database. Understand this? Right, sir. Now here we are going to use which one there? Driver. Between Java application and database here we have to use driver. Assume it here we provided which one there? Driver. Which driver we are using here? The driver may be anything. Type 1 driver or type 4 driver, that doesn't matter. Any driver here we are using there. JDBC driver. This is Java application, and this is which one they know, database. Right, sir. First of all, here what we have to do, we have to load and register the driver. To load and register the driver, here we are going to use a set of instructions. That means a simple instruction here we have to use. Which instruction here we have to use there? Class dot for name. Here we need to use which one? Oracle dot JDBC dot Oracle driver. If you are using type 4 driver provided by Sun Microsystems. Next one. Whenever we are saying database there, definitely database engine is existed. Database engine is existed here. Database server or database engine to execute our SQL queries. It will connect with the database through username and password. Good. Now, whenever we load this driver, it is available with Java. Next one is which one there? Establish a connection between Java application and database. Right, sir. Here we are able to provide connection between Java application and database. This is connection. How we are able to establish connection between Java application and database here? What exactly the next section here we are going to use there? Connection con is equal to driver manager dot to get connection. Here we need to go for JDBC colon Oracle colon thin colon @ localhost colon so 1521 colon XE for example. Next one is which one? Then after that, and database username and password. Anything might be we are able to use. No problem here. System comma Durga. In my database, Durga is the password key. We can understand it. Good. This is the intersection here we are going to use to establish a connection. Connection is okay, fine. Next one is which one there? To write and execute SQL queries, here we have to use which one? Statement. Statement is required now. First we have to create a statement. Statement ST is equal to con.create statement. Statement ST is equal to con.create statement. Statement object is okay, it's available. After getting the statement object, we need to write and execute SQL queries. So to write and execute SQL queries here, we are having some points here. What exactly the points here now? Three methods are available. Execute query method, execute update method, and execute method. Anyway, one method here we are going to take. Let's say for example, result set rs is equal to st dot execute query method. Inside this execute query method, select a star from emp1. Result set rs is equal to st dot execute query, select a star from emp1. It's okay. This is about in a section here we are able to use it now. Next one is which one there? When we provide this in a section, what JVM will do now? JVM will take that SQL query. JVM will send that SQL query to JDBC driver. Now JDBC driver will send that SQL query to which one? There no connection. Right, sir. Connection will carry that SQL query to which one? There no database engine. You know already database engine will execute that SQL query by following 4 steps. What are the various 4 steps? Already we understood there. Query tokenization, query parsing, query optimization, and query execution. By following that, might be records of data is retrieved as per our select SQL query from emp1 table. The data will be given back to which one? They know, to the connection. To the connection. Connection will carry the data to back to which one? They know, JDBC driver. Now what JDBC driver here it will do there? JDBC driver will take the total records of data. JDBC driver will create the total data in the form of result set object. Now JDBC driver will send that result set object to which one they know? To the Java application. At Java application, result set object is created. This object is created. Here we are able to have some data. Records of data is available. 111 AAA 5000. Like this, and 222 BBB 6000. Like this data is existed here. That's fine. Finally, our operation is completed here. Next one is which one there? 7000 here we are getting. This is exactly which one can know result set object RS. Similarly, we can execute insert SQL queries by using execute update method. Similarly, we can execute delete SQL query by using execute update method. Execute query method is for select SQL queries. Non-select SQL queries are available. Insert operation or delete operation or update operation. For all of them, we need to use which one they know? Execute update method. We are able to use that execute update method for all this kind of queries. That's clear. Finally, what happened there? No, we performed our database operation. We completed our total operations here. We are getting our data also clearly. Then after that, finally here, what we have to do there? S3.close. Before that, rs.close method here, we are able to use it. Next one, s3.close method here, we are able to provide it. Next one is con.close method here, we completed. That's it. This is what exactly the JDBC content here we understood here. But first question, how can we say this JDBC is a persistence mechanism first? Then after that we will understand what are the problems with this. First of all, how can we say this JDBC is a persistence mechanism? I'm giving clarity to all of you. Try to recognize it. Point is, all of you understand it here. Point is, in JDBC applications, we establish connection between Java application and database. Am I right or not? Second point, we created connection between Java application and database. Good. When we create connection between Java application and database, connection is established. But that connection is having a default nature. That nature is which one? Auto commit nature. That connection is having a default nature. What is the default nature? You know, auto commit nature. That auto commit default nature is available. What is the meaning of this auto commit nature actually? What is the meaning of the default auto commit nature? You know, what exactly the meaning of this auto commit nature? That auto commit nature is very clear. If we submit an SQL query to the connection, connection will carry that query. Connection will carry that query to database engine. Connection will say to the database engine, execute this query. Whatever the results you are getting there from this query, keep that results in the database permanently. Answer my point here now. When we submit an SQL query to the connection, connection will take that SQL query. Connection will transfer that SQL query to the database engine. Connection will communicate with the database engine. Connection will give an intimation to the database engine, execute this query, and store the results of this query in our database permanently. Now, data, for example, if I use insert SQL query, if I use there, insert SQL query in the sense, inserting a record in the database. So that insert SQL query we are giving to the connection. Connection will carry that insert SQL query to the database engine. And connection will give an intimation of database engine. Execute this insert SQL query where data is specified, record data. Take that record data, insert that record data onto the database table permanently. Not temporarily. Store the data into the database table permanently. Your database engine is maintaining results of the database operations permanently or not. It is performing all the database operations permanently or not. So because of this reason, this JDBC is one of the persistence technology. It is able to manage the data permanently in our backend system. So it is one of the persistence technology. Good. When compared with serialization and deserialization, it is somewhat better. How can we say it is a better? In JDBC we are having query languages support. In JDBC we are having query language support is available. Even though 100 records are available in our database there, we are able to retrieve all 100 number of records just by writing one simple SQL query. And if you want to insert a record, it is a matter of one line. And if you want to update the database table there, it's a matter of one line query. So query languages are simplifying our which one they know the database operations here when compared with our other content layer. Understand it here? Because of this particular reason, we need to go for which one here no. So JDBC is one of the content as a solution for which one serialization and deserialization. It's okay, good. How it is persistence mechanism we understood. How it is better than which one serialization and deserialization we can understand. Moreover, JDBC we can expect in enterprise applications also. It is not bounded with any standalone application. We can utilize in web applications and distributed applications also suitable. Moreover, it is not having any binary kind of data processing. It is able to process all the types of data. It's not supporting only C. It's not only supporting for binary data. Any type of data it is able to support. Just query is available or not. Query is required or not. That's it. Right, sir. After completion of this particular point, another thing is which one there after this. Good. What are the drawbacks with this JDBC? Already we are having JDBC, then what is the requirement to go for next level, next persistence mechanism? Already we have serialization and deserialization. Why we are coming for JDBC in the sense 5 to 6 reasons are given there. Now my question is why we are having what is the requirement to go for next level? Already we are having JDBC. Since we are having JDBC, then what is the requirement to go for which one? No, that ORM model directly. Right. If we come for this particular point, some drawbacks are available with which one? No, JDBC. What are the drawbacks with the JDBC directly? Listen, all of you know. Point number one. If you want to use JDBC in our applications, every time we have to check whether driver is loaded properly or not. Driver management, developer has to put consolation. Next, every time developer has to check whether connection is established or not. That means driver URL is proper or not, database username, password we provided properly or not, connection is established properly or not, that we have to check every time. Next one, every time we have to check whether statements are available properly or not. Why? Because who is going to execute our queries actually statements only. Statements are able to execute our queries there. So every time we have to check whether statement is existed or not properly. Understand my point here? So driver management, connection management, statement management, all the three things must be taken care by which one? No, developer explicitly. So this is one reason why we need to go for which one? Next level. Okay, fine. Leave it. Second one is which one? Then apart from this, another content is which one there? No. In a JDBC, I have to write SQL queries to perform database operations. But basically myself is Java developer. I'm not having much awareness on which one database implementations and query languages no. But I'm good at Java, but I'm not good at which one they know query languages. Up to simple SQL queries, it's okay. I can manage it. But complex requirements, if you have complex implementations, if you want to provide, how I'm going to take that much of button. So I'm expecting a solution without writing SQL queries. I'm expecting a solution without writing which one SQL queries. That is one point. Next, one more thing. In case of JDBC, hard-coded kind of approach here we have to provide. Hard-coded kind of approach. That means we have to load the driver explicitly. We have to establish the connection explicitly. We have to prepare the statements explicitly. This is repeated code at each and every application. Even though it's a repeated, every time we have to write it. No stabilization for it. No standard approach for it. Standard approach is available, but every time we have to write it. This type of code is called as which one? Boilerplate code. Boilerplate code is a separate name. Repeatedly we are writing the same code again and again, again and again. This type of code is nothing but which one? Boilerplate. So this is not suggestible in our application development. So hard-coded approach here we are following here. So because of these many reasons, we need to go for which one here? No, the next level, that is exactly which one here? No, ORM. Object relational mapping here we have to use. So understand my points here. Tell me now, how JDBC is a persistence mechanism? How can we say like this? In the case of JDBC, when we establish a connection between Java application and database, automatically that connection is having auto commit mode. What is the meaning of this auto commit mode here now? Meaning of auto commit mode is When we submit an SQL query to the connection will carry that SQL query to a database engine. Now database engine will take that SQL query, database engine will execute that SQL query, and database engine will store the results of that SQL query in database permanently. The word permanently is giving which one now is a persistence now. That's why JDBC is which one here now persistence mechanism. But what are the problems with this persistence mechanism? The main drawback with this persistence mechanism that JDBC is which one? In JDBC, developers must take the responsibility of driver management, connection management, statement management every time here. The developer must do this, all these things. Next one is which one? In JDBC, we need to write everything is a hard-coded kind of thing. That means these many lines of code we have to write every time, even for single insertion. Single insertion, we need to write 7 to 8 lines of code here, minimal. Then apart from that, other thing is which one here? And SQL queries here we have to write. We are largely depending on which one SQL queries. Without writing SQL queries, we are unable to do the operations. In JDBs, everything here we have to write with SQL queries only. But basically, we are Java developers. We don't know how to write these SQL queries there. So definitely, we need to go for an alternative. Now, that alternative is which one there now? ORM. Gotcha. This is the main requirement to go for which one? ORM. But how, sir? How ORM is available for us? What exactly the work here we are going to do with this ORM here now? All of you up to this one? What is the requirement to go for ORM? That point I am telling you. Sir, all of you are following my points now. First of all, I've given JD serialization, deserialization. Next, we are talking about JDBC. Next level here we are moving there. ORM, object relational mapping. What is the requirement of this one? Clear. Right. I want to take an enterprise application. Through that, I will explain to you. Try to understand it clearly. Simple, very simple example. Simple registration form I want to take, sir. Understand it. Just like it is a server-side application, one form here I'm going to take. Easily we can understand it. Nothing else about it. This is which one here? Registration form.html. Let's say for example, student ID, student name, student address, and a submit button. Good, it's available. Server-side application is available here. This is my server-side application. I want to take a registration servlet. Okay, sir. Just servlet I want to prepare. Good. Now I want to perform database operations. So here I want to prepare which one there? No, a simple a service class or DAO or whatever it may be. Something else I'm taking. No registration. Instead of saying is just I want to go for which one there? No student DAO. I want to take data access object. No problem here. For the sake of database operations here, we are using this. Next one is which one? Then after that, here I'm using database. Simple model I'm providing here. Here itself we are going to understand what is the requirement to go for ORM. This example here I'm able to give clearly. Right, sir. In database, we have student table, student ID, student address, like this table here we are having here. That's it. Now I want to write some methods also here. Do post or do get method, no problem. Do post methods. Request comma response is existed. Even though you are not aware about servlets, no need to worry for that. Just understand what I am trying to say. My conclusion is very simple. To give that simple conclusion, I am taking this example. Right, sir. Now here what I will do there, first of all I will create student devo object, new student devo. Here we can understand it. Student devo is existed. Here we can call student devo dot add method. Parameters are provided. Three parameters. Now inside this here, what happened there? No add method is existed here. Inside this, some coding code here we have written. This coding code can be used to insert the record onto the database table. That's it. Now I want to give flow of execution. First of all, I will provide some data. I'll provide some data. S1 for example. Student ID. Student name is which one here? AAA and SID for example, I have it. Just I'll click on this one. When we click on this submit button, first data will come to which one here now? Anyway, request will come to which one then? Servlet. Request will come to which one then? Servlet. Okay, sir. When request is coming to the servlet, that servlet request object will be created or not? Tell me, sir. Request and response objects are created or not? Okay. Response object is created. I will not think about this response object. Inside the request object, data is available in the form of key value pairs or not? What about this key value pairs? SID is equal to S1, S name is equal to AAA, SID is equal to Hyderabad. Right, sir. Clear. Next one, what this student devo it able to do there? It will create one bean object. Student object it will create. This is exactly which one can know request object. Now okay, it will create which object can know bean object it will create here. Java bean object. That's about which object can know student object we can understand. Student bean. Now here what we will do there, SID is equal to one only. Next one is S name is equal to AAA. Next one SIDR is equal to Hyderabad. So first of all data will come to the request object. Later on the data will be stored in which one they know a bean object. Then after that What this bean object is doing, what this DO class is doing there, DO class has stored the data into the database as per the requirement. Insert operation here we are performing here, automatically the data will be stored inside which one? No, database. We can observe this here, which data here is stored here now. First one is S1, next one is AAA, next one is which one? IDH. Completed. Then after that, acknowledgement. Some response is coming from database here. Later on, DO will send some response back to which one, to this particular one. Already previously it has submitted. Flow of execution is coming to this one. Next, finally, some response will come to which one they know, to the respective user. This is an application, clearly we can understand. Now, okay, data also I want to provide in the form of which one, this. Data is same, very same, no problem. Okay. Sir, understand, this point is very, very important. Here only the requirement of the ORM we are going to understand clearly. Now I'm asking one question to you, try to answer for it. In this overall, how many copies of data I maintained here? That means S1 AAA Hyderabad. How many times I represented the data? Overall, in this total application, how many copies of data is available? 4 copies of data is available. Overall, how many copies of data is existed? No, 4 copies. Up to this. Here we provided one copy or not? S1 AAA and Hyderabad in HTML form. Good. In a Java application, 2 copies we provided or not? One is which object? No, request object, and other one is which one? No, student object. Third copy we provided at which place there? No. Third copy we provided database or not? That's it. Overall, 3 times 4 copies of data here we provided. Okay, listen all of you now. Now tell me, here we provided data in HTML form. Means that the data is represented in the form of hypertext data or not? Tell me, sir. Data we provide in HTML form means that the data will come in the form of hypertext or not? Input to type is equal to text. Like next one is which one here? Uname. SID is equal to, and like this data here we provided in the form of hypertext or not? The data will be represented in between the tags or not? That's fine. So this type of data representation is following a model. That model is which one here? Hypertext model. Text model. Textual data. The textual data is marked with HTML tags. So internally, so it is called as which one? Hypertext data. Moreover, after preparing this total form here, after providing data, after clicking on submit button, data will be represented in the form of text. Understand it? Anyway, data model is which one? Hypertext model. Clear. Next one. In Java application, we represented the data in the form of which one? Objects. In Java application, the data representation is available in the form of which one? Objects. Am I right or not? Request is an object. Student is a bean, Java bean object, where data is represented here. So this object representation is following one model internally. That model is which one here? Object oriented data model. Text data model. This is object oriented data model. Hypertext data model. This is not only a model, this is hypertext data model. This is exactly which one can know? Object oriented data model. Everybody understand my point here? This is exactly which one? Object oriented data model. That's okay. Now here, in a database we represented the same data. In a databases we have represented the same data. So Data inside the databases is following one type of model. That data model is which one can know? Relational data model. Answer my point now. This data model is exactly which one can know? Relational data model. After this, in enterprise applications, in how many ways we are representing our data? In three ways. How many models we have used there? Three models we have used. Hypertext data model, object oriented data model. Next one is which one? Relational data model. Okay, sir. Now tell me, initially data provided by user in the form of which one? Hypertext data model. It's okay, good. Second one is which one? No. That hypertext data model will be converted to which one there? Object oriented data model. I'm asking one question now, answer for it. Who's converting data from hypertext data model to object oriented data model? Who is converting that? Is the developer is converting the data? No, developer is not converting data. Just developer has given information on which one form. Click on submit button. Request will go to the server. Server will take the data from request. Server will create object, request object. So who is converting the data from text data to object data? Server. Application servers are doing that work. Application servers are taking text data. Application servers are converting the text data to which one they know? Object data directly. It's okay, good. Application servers are required, they are converting the data. Clear, leave it. Next one. Then after that, data is converted from object-oriented data model to relational data model or not? Tell me here, who has to convert this data now? Who is converting this data? Do you have any application server to convert data from object-oriented to table data? Is that application is doing that work? Okay, JDBC, you are saying JDBC is a solution. Clear, right information only. But who is preparing the JDBC? User or developer? Who is preparing JDBC code? Developer is preparing JDBC code. That means developer must take responsibility to convert the data from object-oriented data model to relational data model or not. Developer is not responsible for converting data from hypertext data to object-oriented data model. Why? Because application servers are doing that work internally. Maybe after getting data in the form of object, request object, we'll get the data and we are able to store the data in another object. That's okay. That developer can do. But initially data will be available in the form of object by the server only. That's okay, fine. But the developer must take explicit responsibility to transfer the data from object-oriented data model to relational data model. But how developer is transferring like this? No. How it is possible for a developer? We are able to write JDBC code. But already I said to you, number of drawbacks are available with JDBC. Number of drawbacks are available with JDBC, we already understood here. But how the data will be translated? If you want to make it is effective, we need to make it is effective first of all. But how it is possible to make it is effective now? Understand, listen carefully. In object-oriented data model, relational data model must have some conversion. But before going to convert the data, first understand the nature of the object orientation, understand the nature of the relational data model. Object-oriented data model is having its own mechanisms to represent data. Relational data model is having its own mechanisms to represent data. Object-oriented data model is following object-oriented features to represent data. To represent data in object-oriented data model, it is following object-oriented features. But in the relational data model, to represent data, it is following some other relational model features. Both the features are same or different? Think and give answer now. Object-oriented data model and relational data model, both are same or different? Both are different. If both are same, no need to talk about all these things. If both are same, no need to talk about all these things here. Both are different. Object-oriented data model is following object-oriented features, inheritance or maybe associations, maybe composition, maybe aggregation, maybe and polymorphism, maybe all these things are going on. But the similar things are available in relational data model, but their representation is different. Maybe primary key, foreign key, relationships, associations might be achieved through primary key and foreign key. Answer my point. Its approaches are different. So finally, what is the conclusion I am telling there? Object-oriented data model is having its own conventions to represent data. Relational data model is having its own representations to it is having its own conventions to represent data. So two different models are available in our enterprise application. Two different models are having their own approaches to represent data. One approach is not same as another approach. So definitely some mismatches are available between both the approaches. Some different features are available in both the approaches. The different features are nothing but mismatches between different approaches. Let's say, for example, I'm able to provide one-to-one association here. In between two objects, I can provide one-to-one association by declaring one object reference variable in another object. What will be the approach in the case of this relational data model, primary key, foreign key, association key? So how can we equalize these two? It is about which one they know, some other concept. And here in relational data model, other approach is available there. How can we map both the things now? Answer my point, so both the approaches are different, but maybe target may be same, but approaches are different here. Because of these different approaches, mismatches are coming. Mismatches are coming between these both the data models. These mismatches between the both the data models is reducing data persistency in our enterprise applications. Mismatches between data models is reducing data persistency in enterprise applications. You're good. Answer my point. Mismatches between data models reducing data persistency in our enterprise applications. Exactly. In this particular situation, to improve data persistency in our enterprise applications, we need to resolve mismatches between data models. If we want to resolve mismatches between data models, we need to have some mapping between object-oriented data model and relational data model. To resolve the mismatches between object-oriented data model and relational data model, we need some which one? Some mapping between object-oriented data model and relational data model. Mapping is required. Exactly. That mapping is provided by which one? ORM tools. Object relational mapping tools. To resolve the mismatches between object-oriented data model and relational data model, we need some mapping. That mapping is provided by which one they know? ORM tools. Object relational mapping tools. Object relational mapping is required to resolve the mismatches between object-oriented data model and relational data model. What are the various mismatches and how we are going to provide solution for that is nothing but total ORM concept here. Is nothing but our Hibernate. Hibernate is one of the ORM implementation. It has existed between object-oriented data model and relational data model. It is providing mapping between object-oriented data model and relational data model. Because of this particular reason only, we are using which one can know? ORM, object relational mapping, and it is about which one they know? Hibernate clearly. That's it. This is the intention to go for which one no? ORM. But we need to understand elaborately which mismatches are available, how we are going to provide solution between these mismatches. We need to understand these concepts in the future. That's it. Up to now, what I completed here overall: serialization and deserialization, data persistency mechanism, JDBC data persistency mechanism, and in both the cases, pros and cons we understood it. Then after that, what is the requirement to go for ORM? Need to come for which one? ORM. That points here we understood. Next one, then after that, what are the mismatches between data models? How ORM is providing solution for these two, that we are going to understand clearly. If we are getting such type of awareness there, then we will talk about which one EJB's entity might be beans are available, then Hibernate. Why need to go for Hibernate? Hibernate and JP are available. What is that meaning of JP and what is the meaning of Hibernate? These 2 points here we have to understand clearly. Once if we complete this content, Hibernate topics we are going to start. Hibernate history we are going to understand. Then after that, Hibernate elements. If you want to prepare any basic Hibernate application, what exactly the elements we require here, that points we are going to understand. Then after that, Hibernate related content here we are going to understand clearly. Right, so this is what exactly the points that I'm telling you. So that's all for today, and tomorrow I'll go for mismatches topic there. Then after completion of these mismatches, I'll go for which one directly remaining part of which one Hibernate content Right, sir. Thank you for it, and tomorrow we'll see the remaining part.